bad bitch. Yeah, all about the dough, get the bag, bitch. Yeah. The pipe to make 'em mad, bitch. Yeah, she know she in first, they just average. She a bad bitch. Bad bitch. Pipe to make 'em mad, bitch. Yeah, she know she in first, they just average.
Welcome everyone to another Baddies ATL review. Yes, you heard it right. This is a review, but we are going to get into some exclusive content also because there's a lot of stuff that was happening behind the scenes on Instagram, on these stories. Sarah, as you all know, released a bunch of audio. I definitely want to get into all that because I really could not even stop thinking about that while I was watching this episode. But yeah, I do have some special guests. I feel like there are some people that definitely said they were going to call in, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'm seeing in the comments a lot of people are saying they thought this was the full show. I'm very sorry. This is a review, but like I said, we're going to be getting into some stuff that I'm pretty sure a lot of people haven't seen. Like this just happened. Well, it happened Friday, so I'm sure some people have seen it, but I'm sure some of the fans of the show have no idea what happened. So we're going to fill you in on that, but more on that later because we are going to be going through things as they happened on the show. So once again, if anyone just watched the episode, you want to join the conversation, make sure you go to the link, which is scrolling by below, and you can call in and you can give your thoughts. But also, make sure you like this channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I mean, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time there's a new video. But as you all know, right now, I'm doing my reviews every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. But yeah, so let me go down my notes. The very first thing that I recognized right away was that I think it might have been like the first episode. They used that same song, not the intro song. I'm talking about the very first scene, like when they're just showing like the B-roll, the cars driving by, the buildings. They used that same song previously. And I was really excited to see because the way they did the preview after, at the end of the last episode, after they did the preview, they made it seem like, oh, Mehgan coming was later in the season or whatever. I didn't know it was going to be actually this episode. But I was happy to see that was the first scene, Sydney and Mehgan on a FaceTime call. And I thought about it because last time I was on here, I was saying that's weird that they're friends, but I guess it makes sense because they were both on VH1, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. But I don't know if you all caught this, but Mehgan did ask, like, okay, well, is it going to be a problem with anyone else if I'm there? And Sydney was like, oh, no, this is my house. Like, it is not even her house. And she said that she wanted to look like, I don't know, there was something, I forget exactly what was said, but I wrote on here that Sydney said she wanted to look like Mehgan. So that's where that comes from, where a lot of times when people criticize other people, just like when Sydney was like, oh, you want to look like me, blah, blah, blah. It's really because that's how they feel about themselves kind of thing. And she knows that she really wants to look like these other bad girls. So that's what she's going to accuse the other bad girls of doing. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely not your house, Sydney. And I think it's funny because I want to get into this other leaked audio thing that I heard about. Should I get into the leaked audio right as I think about it, or should I skip to that later? Let me know in the comments or in the live chat. Because there was leaked audio where Natalie was saying Sydney was trash and was like, Sydney's the first one to go. I think they were talking about like as far as who was coming back for season 2. All right, but 7 when they were all talking in the little room, I don't know what that was supposed to be. It looked like it should have been like a hot tub or something, but there was no water in there. But when they were all talking, when it was Seven, Christina, Janelle, and Sydney, Seven was saying that the fight with Sarah wasn't her fault. And I thought it was really funny. She was like, I warned her with the phone. And it's like, you really hit her with the phone. Like, you really threw the phone super hard. Like, that wasn't a warning. And that happened right before you ran up. So that was just like that was the first thing. Like, that wasn't a warning. And I think it's funny that, I'm not funny, but how can you say that it's not your fault? Like, you're the one that attacked her. Like, it is, you let her get under your skin to the point that you attacked her. So whose fault is that? That's what I want to know. Sydney was talking about she's a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I wrote that down. I don't know why. That really didn't have anything to do with anything. I thought it was interesting that Sydney and Christina are both Aquariuses, and that's why they get along. It did seem kind of weird, like them being friends. I think it's just, even like in the Bad Girls Clubhouse, it's like you kind of, well, for the most part, I know it's not always like this, but for the most part, the girls that you come into the house with, they all meet at different places, and then they meet at the house usually at the beginning of the season. They always end up being friends. You know what I mean? So I think it was kind of the same thing, because Sydney and Christina went into this house together. They felt like they were friends. But now I guess it makes sense if they're both Aquariuses. I don't know. I feel like I'm a Libra, but I don't necessarily get along with all Libras. But I don't know. I thought I wrote on here that, why does Janelle want to reduce the drama? And then after they're all, well, she wasn't even talking about this, but later on when they were talking about, Janelle and Sydney, we should just agree to disagree, or whatever. They were supposed to try to be cool, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Janelle's like, "Oh, well, you're jealous," but not in a bad way. I don't know what she said, but that was kind of, what do you call it? You know what I'm saying? Like, does she really want to reduce the drama? And all right, so skip ahead, because now we are talking about oh wait, I skipped this part. All right. I want to know if it is messy. What do you guys think? Is it messy? I mean, I understand why it would be messy just because it's Mehgan, but really that shouldn't matter when that's one of your friends. But they want this to be different from Bad Girls Club, right? I feel like in Bad Girls Club, they had to get permission to invite people over. I don't think this was supposed to be like that. I think if it was anyone else, it wouldn't be a problem. So I don't think that it should be a problem when it's Mehgan. You know what I mean? But the fact that I don't know. I don't see this happen. I really feel like if it was any other guest, but then I think about it, and they really haven't had guests on the show. But the one day, well, I don't know. The makeup artist, do you have to run that by Natalie and Tanisha? Oh, I'm bringing my makeup artist here. I feel like they would just be like invited, because that's part of, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to run it by them who they are. So this is one of the few times that I actually kind of agree with Sydney. It really is. I thought it was really funny, like, while they were in the room, I'm gonna skip ahead, but when Sydney was talking to Christina and Mehgan in the room, I feel like Sydney was trying to make it seem like everyone else, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like what she was trying to do backfire. She was trying to get everyone on her side, like Mehgan on her side, like, oh, they did all this, blah, blah, blah. But then she kind of made herself sound bad. And even Mehgan was like, no, that's why I can't trust you. But yeah, so that's the one time that I agree with Sydney. Like, I really don't think it is mess. Like, I could see how it could be perceived that way, especially because it's not even really Sydney's birthday. You know what I mean? they just decided this was the day they were going to celebrate it. So that was the excuse to bring Mehgan on. But yeah, no, this whole time Mehgan already looks annoyed. Like before Sydney even mentions it, I feel like someone probably told Natalie, because Natalie seemed annoyed. Like as soon as she was on this episode, like when Sarah was talking to her about something, and I thought it was another. It's kind of, I don't know. A lot of stuff has been said about Sarah outside of the show, but I'm still gonna defend her right now, because I thought it was super weird that, Sarah is in the middle of a conversation with Natalie, and then Sydney comes in, and then all of a sudden Natalie's like, all right, well, Sarah, can you wait and let us talk first? Like, how come she didn't make Sydney wait? I feel like it's because she knew it was about Mehgan. Like she had already heard something. But yeah, as far as Sarah always adding her 2 cents, I could totally see that now, because Sydney did come into the room. Well, I forget if she was asking about Tanisha, but I think she did. And about like if Natalie or Tanisha would have a problem with Mehgan, and then I don't know, like no one really asked Sarah, but Sarah was like, yeah, I mean, I agree with Natalie. That's messed up that you would invite her, blah, blah, blah. And no one was really asking Sarah. She's not the EP. You know what I'm saying? She's not the one that has a problem with Mehgan. So it really didn't have anything to do with her. And then another thing, at the end of that conversation, Sarah said something also like, see, I would never do this to you, Natalie, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I see what everyone is saying, but at the same time, it's like, I also see her point of view. But I thought it was really funny how Natalie said Mehgan was the ops. Mehgan, Obama's stepdaughter. It was funny how she said that too. She had to put her famous quotes. I guess they split it up because her next quote is in the next episode. But I thought it was really funny how all of a sudden Natalie was on FaceTime with Tanisha, like, hey, Tanisha, I'm going to your place. No, I'm going. Like she was trying to get out the house ASAP. I feel like it's because she knew that as soon as Sydney said, oh, hey, I just want you to know Mehgan's coming, I feel like Natalie was like, oh, that probably means she's about to pull up any minute. And she was like trying to get out of there as soon as possible. That's what it seemed like. And when she got to Tanisha, she said that's not what it was. But why was she in such a rush? You know what I'm saying? And she had to kind of convince Tanisha, like, no, I'm coming. Like, no, I'm coming. Like, and then I think she said to Sarah, like, no, Natalie was like, no, Tanisha wants me to come. Like, after we heard you basically like beg her to let you come over. But yeah, my whole thing is the only reason why it should be a problem for Natalie or Tanisha is if they were having to pay for Mehgan's appearance, because and they were talking about the flyer too, and I remember that happening, like when it happened back in the day, like when it was all over Instagram, and I kind of get that, but even on there, Mehgan was like, oh, well, don't even worry about me coming because I don't party for free. Is she coming on the episode for free? Because if she is, then it's not a problem. But if for if somehow Mehgan had it so that Zeus had to pay her to make it to be a guest star for this episode or the next 2 episodes or whatever, I feel like I would see why they would be mad, because that would be less. I feel like that would be taken out of the executive producers' checks, right? To like pay a guest star. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But other than that, I don't see why it should be a problem. I feel like you forced her. I mean, you knew that this is, you live in a house. It's not like, I don't know. You know what I mean? If they want to invite their friends, it doesn't matter who the friends are. Mehgan was at least nice and asked like if anyone would have a problem. Mehgan at least wants, she's not going to be like sneaking around the mansion. Like, would that be better? You know what I'm saying? Is that how you would want it to go? I think that would be more weird. So I also understand Mehgan wanting to talk to them. That makes sense. But But I guess I can see what they're saying. Like, did it have to be in person? It could have been beforehand. I thought it was kind of well, like when I saw the because I remember seeing that clip too of Mehgan when she was, I guess she did a story and she was walking up and she was like, "Oh, this looks like a haunted house or something." And that is weird for Natalie and Tanisha to find out through an Instagram story that Mehgan was coming up to the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And maybe it was just the way they edited it that made it seem weird, but it seemed like they were trying to, I don't know, it seemed like they were trying to be funny with it. Because then I feel like they'll be like, oh, well, at least I showed you on the story that I was coming into the house. Well, I guess I don't know if they have each other's numbers. I heard that they blocked each other from Instagram or whatever. But Mehgan knows the producers at Zeus, so she could have let someone know instead of just posting it to her story. Because that is weird. Like, if it's my show that I'm running and then there's other people trying to book guest stars that I didn't want on my show, and then all I just see on a story that they are making their appearance on my show, like that would be weird. I get it. And that's why I guess I mean, all right, never mind. I'm skipping ahead. But that is what I wrote on here. Mehgan does a party for free, but she'll go to the Baddies house for free. Is that what's happening? So I was really trying to figure out how soon after Sydney telling Natalie did she actually go to Tanisha's, because that she left right in time then, because she left and then she saw the story on IG. And then, all right, so when when Sydney, Christina, and Mehgan are all talking in the room and they're talking about Judy's broom and stuff, that's what I was talking about earlier. As far as Sydney was trying to make Judy look bad, but really she made herself look bad, and that's why Mehgan says that she doesn't trust her. So how come she's like such good friend? You know, she doesn't trust her, but she's such good friends that she'll show up to this house on this show that is run by two people that she doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of not sure what's going on there. You know what I'm saying? I thought that if anything, like Mehgan, I thought before this episode, before I knew how it went down, I thought that what was happening was maybe Mehgan had signed a contract that said she was going to be on the show, but somehow it didn't say how many episodes she had to be on. So she just decided to make an appearance for one episode and she would fulfill her contract that way. I don't know. I didn't know what I was thinking, but I didn't see it happening like this. But it seems pretty weird. You know what I'm saying? That she would do how she's saying she's not gonna come to the club for free, but she will show up to the house and have all these cameras in her face and stuff for free. Like, I feel like that's more work than going to a club. So Natalie was saying she was not gonna go to the party. I'm trying to figure out if that is petty or not. On one hand, I totally get what her and Tanisha are saying. Like, if there's anything with their names on it, the club is making money. So you should be, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that, like, I feel like Sydney just got her own people to make this flyer so that it would seem like, and I'm sure it was an official night, but there's a way to go about that to make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I like I said, I kind of understand why they would be mad at that. And they made it. I remember seeing the flyer, and they made it seem like as if Mehgan was a part of the Baddies cast from the beginning. That's why Natalie was also mad. I think they kind of took that part out. They didn't show you that part, but I do remember that happening, like back in February or March or whenever this was. But also, after they left, remember after they had that conversation where Mehgan was like, all right, well, I feel like Christina really has my back more than you. I can't trust you like that, blah, 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 Sydney. And then when they leave to go talk to Tanisha and Natalie, they leave Christina in the room. Why are they leaving Christina in the room after Mehgan just said, I feel like you're the only one that has my back? You know what I'm saying? So they I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Or, it's all Sydney. I feel like Sydney didn't want Mehgan to have anyone have her back. So yeah, so of course they end the episode right before Mehgan even sits down. And in the preview, we see that Natalie does eventually go to the party. So I feel like what's gonna happen is they're gonna talk. I don't think that any fight is gonna happen. I feel like that would have been the cliffhanger if it did. And Megan's probably just gonna be like, all right, look, I'm not gonna come to the club, and then Natalie's gonna decide to. But I don't know. I still would like to hear from other people though. So as a reminder, if you would like to join in the conversation, you can go to the link which you see scrolling below, and you can join in the conversation. But those were my main things. Is Mehgan a guest star on the show for free? And what was the other thing? I don't know. I'm just saying it seems like a lot to do for someone that you don't even trust like that. You know what I'm saying? But again, Mehgan was on she was on the little teaser trailer that they filmed in Miami, and I'm sure people at the network, at Zeus Network, wanted her to be a guest star too. As long as they didn't get any of the money out of Tanisha and Natalie's EP checks, I don't see why it should be a problem. I do see why the flyer would be a problem. But like I said, I did want to get into some of this reunion drama, because I don't know if you all know this, but Sarah did not come to the reunion. So what had happened was Sarah was apparently she was telling Natalie, hey, well, I don't know. There was some other stuff involved, because apparently Sarah wanted more money for the reunion and they didn't give her what she wanted. So that's why she didn't come. But that's not the only reason. So Sarah was telling Natalie, hey, you better go on your Instagram live and tell everyone that I'm not racist. And then so Natalie was like, what? And then she went on live and was telling everyone that Sarah was. She was like, oh, you want me to tell people that you're not racist? Well, actually, I'm gonna tell everyone that you are, and I'm gonna have you canceled, blah blah blah. Like, I don't like this. I don't know. This can't just be like fake drama just to build up hype, right? Like, this is really like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. But so Sarah was like, all right, well, since you didn't post that video, I'm going to release audio of shit that you did say about everyone else. And everyone already knows. And then it's funny because Sarah's infamous clip got resurfaced when she was on a reality show, like back, she was saying some wild stuff. And she even says, oh, they took it out of context. I was saying, oh, he said blah, 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 but they cut off the he said part. And so it seemed like it was what she was saying. So knowing that you have had that happen to you, how can you now release this audio of Natalie speaking, but not give the whole thing? It is bad what Natalie is kind of saying on the audio clips, which I'm going to play in just a second. But like I said, like, I mean, not like I haven't said it yet, but what I was thinking was, when you're trying, I feel like Natalie is trying to trying to be nice. Like, as crazy as that sounds, when you say stuff like that, like, you have to remember that Sarah, she was complaining about these people. You know what I'm saying? So when your friend is calling you and they're complaining about someone, and everyone has good things that could be said about them and bad things that could be said about them, right? So if you're on the phone with someone that is complaining about this person and you kind of want to like get them to see like, oh, I get what you're saying, like they do have these flaws, you're just going to be agreeable because that's your friend. You just want to be able to relate to your friend who has a problem with these people, and you're going to be like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, it is a problem. This stuff can be problematic. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's there talking shit behind their back. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Sarah baited her into this conversation. Sarah had to have started talking shit. And then, well, I don't know. There is one clip that's not like that, where it's, I don't know. There's someone else on the phone. I don't know if that's a producer from Zeus or what. But yeah, so there's literally a bunch of audio where I think it's like every girl, like she was talking about Christina, she was talking about Seven and Janelle, she was talking about Tanisha, she was talking, who else was she talking about? I don't know. Let me just get right into it though, because these are a lot. So let me share, once again, let me share my Chrome tab, and we'll just do a little reaction video right now, even though I kind of gave you everything that was supposed to happen. But let's check this out. Oh, wow. I didn't mean to skip to the end.
I said a week ago, no bag means no reunion. My manager was able to negotiate a...
Oh, I forgot. I can't make it full screen. All right.
It's actually significantly higher, but still not what I asked for. And I'm not about to go to a reunion to scream and argue with girls who want to make up lies, especially Natalie Nunn, the biggest liar of them all. Okay, I was on the show. My finger was fractured from their security. It's still crooked. Like, I don't have the time. I have a 3-carat ring on this finger. So I want to go over a few things really quick. No bag, no reunion. I'm not going. I'm in Vegas. I don't have the time.
And I do think it was also funny because I'm not sure if it's this video right here, but there is another clip where Sarah is talking about how she is in Vegas, as she just mentioned, and she was like, see, I didn't go to the reunion, but I'm still producing the show from my hotel room, blah, blah, blah. Like, and apparently, I'm not sure if this is true, but apparently Natalie said that the girls were not allowed to bring up any of the leaked audio that Sarah had put out. But let's go more into her notes right here.
Number 2, they painted me crazy on the entire show. Like, I look like I'm following Natalie around or doing this and that. Like, of course, the tables are going to turn. I'm about to tell her she's a horrible friend in the next episode or 2. But, like, once you don't be her friend, not only does she come for you when you're her friend, she comes for you 10 times harder when you're not her friend. So it's like a lose-lose. You're not her friend, you lose. You're her friend, you lose even more. Like, it's nonstop chaos. All right, so for somebody to be so booked and busy as Natalie claims, why is she blowing up my phone? I mean, countless text messages in DM, harassing me, saying, Sarah, if you don't this and that, like, I'm going to tell people you're racist. I'm going to have you canceled. I'm going to have the whole culture cancel you. And I'm like, my life speaks for itself. Like, if people are like, hello, the majority of my friends are Black. Half my family is. I'm on an all-Black network with an all-Black cast. So for me to, guys, it's just nonsense. I'm saying I can't argue with her. She has all the time in the world to go back and forth every day. And
so I thought it was funny here too, because Sarah was saying that it was actually Natalie that was saying, oh, well, if you don't post this, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, like, I've seen, it makes sense. I could see Natalie has lied before. And honestly, like, for the most part, Sarah hasn't really lied about stuff. And I'm not sure that this is necessarily a lie, but I feel like she's definitely taken out the part that she did. I'm sure Natalie did that back. I feel like Sarah was like, oh, you need to post this or else blah, blah, blah. And then Natalie replied with like, no, well, actually, what you need to do is do this or blah, blah, blah. But Sarah won't tell you that part. Like, but, she doesn't say that she didn't do that. She just says that, oh, well, that's what Natalie accused me of is what she's doing. But that's because she did it like in return. That's how I feel. I don't know. But tell me what you think. So far, I have not caught Sarah in a lie.
I am not okay with it, nor am I going to argue with Natalie Nunn every single damn day.
Luis!
It's not because I'm scared of her.
Welcome. Shout out to Luis. He's always here. And I just saw that he had commented, so I had to give him a shout out. But have you seen this? All the leaked audio? All right. Let me play it.
I just don't have the energy or the patience. Like, you have to pay me a lot more to keep entertaining this bitch and her nonsense. Okay, so she blows up my phone. She blows up my manager's phone. She then blocks me, goes online and says I block her and that I'm making terroristic threats. No, you threatened me. But anyways, moving along. She then said that she's going to have me canceled by telling lies. She's already told a million lies. So we're going to go ahead and drop a little audio today where she is basically setting up the fact of she was going to make a big scene at the reunion and call me racist for entertainment because that's just what she does. And it's very sickening. Like, race is a real...
So yeah, this drama was better than the show. And that's all I could think about during this episode was like, when are they going to get to the reunion? Because I need to find out what's going on with this. But 100% agree with that.
Real thing. Like, you got me all the way messed up. So I'm about to let y'all hear this audio, and if she keeps wanting to play, I've got a whole segment of audios coming for y'all because y'all know I love some receipts. So it's going to be audio after audio after audio. Whoever wants to say something crazy, y'all can get it because there's audio for your ass. And yeah, that's really all I want to say. I am going to go back out and enjoy the pool in Vegas. I don't have time for this reunion. No bag, no reunion. I'm not playing with y'all. We're playing Marco Polo out here. No bag, no reunion.
Let's just be honest. Never have I been like, never have I felt you were, I wouldn't be friends with you if I thought you were fucking racist. Let's just start there, okay? And Seven even said in one of her quotes, I don't think they're racist, but she does. So, right, it's like, then don't bring it up if you don't think she's racist. This is not the time to be doing that. Wait, and you... Just when we get to the reunion, I have no problem addressing the fact that, you know, I personally do not think Sarah is a racist. Now, does Sarah say things? Does Seven say things? Does Janelle say things? All of you bitches be saying some shit that can go left or right at any moment, because a lot of the time, in the heat of arguing or in the heat of moments, you guys don't think before you speak, and that's all of us. But I know, like, I've known Sarah the longest on the stage. She's not racist. But you've all said shit. Seven, Janelle, like, we're not going to try to depict someone's character like they're racist when each and every single one of you have offended someone in a race type of a way. And that's just it. Everyone has. Well, I mean, I like to stay away from race because that's a really, like you said, it's really touchy. I just need to say, you guys all say racist ass shit. Because my mom's white. And Seven was like, oh, because you're a white girl, you're going to call the cops. My mom ain't never called the fucking police, never in her life. So I'm just confused. Like, why would you say, because, like, black people call the cops on people. Like, I don't get, like, what are you talking about, Seven? Like, that was just such an ignorant-ass comment and statement. Like all of you bitches be saying some ignorant-ass shit.
And like I said before, Seven already said that she doesn't really feel that way. It's just like what automatically came to mind. But I totally, you see what I'm saying? Like, Natalie is just trying to be like agreeable. I feel like in all these situations, she's trying to, like she said, she stays away from that. I feel like she's trying to be smarter about what she says. I don't know, but there is another clip after this that I want to play too that I thought was funny.
But then if Sarah says one little thing, you guys call her a racist, and it's just like, why couldn't it just been an ignorant comment?
But that's the difference, though. Natalie makes a good point, though. It's like when people are in the heat of the moment, they say stuff. Sarah has like a certain pattern to the stuff that she says, and she says it all the time.
Not a receipt type of girl. Because I feel like that's what the police do.
She be telling me shit. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You wanted me to tell the world you're not racist.
I know she with it. Yeah, I know
Bitch,
she
you
on it.
fucking racist, hoe.
I've always liked Tanisha. I was one of her favorites on every single reunion and every single season that I was on when she hosted our reunions. And our relationship was kind of estranged on Baddies ATL, which is pretty sad because I'm good friends with her best friend, Amber. So, yeah, basically all hell gets broken loose. The culprit of it all, of course, is Miss Natalie Nunn, her fake friend who made up with her in 30 minutes in the kitchen. She says crazy things about Tanisha repeatedly over and over. She despises the woman. She's upset that when you Google Bad Girls Club, that Tanisha Thomas's photo comes up first before Natalie's photo. She's always secretly hated her. And if you want to hear a little bit more about what Natalie says about Tanisha, because I'm not going to say the actual words because it is politically not correct for me to say them, but here is a little tidbit for you guys.
I'm not ever fucking with her like that again. Like, bitch, you just tried to, again, make it seem like I, am the one making these fake-ass faces. Like, bitch, you don't see I'm booked and busy? You didn't have time for that? I'm booked, busy. I actually have a husband. I actually have a fucking kid I have to take care of every day. We all really well taken care of. Like, what, girl, I don't sit in the house every day smoking weed like you, outside in the car drinking rosé, a whole bottle every day. Like, I go to the gym I just don't have time for that. Like, me and Tanisha are not even the same kind of person. I don't need to talk about her personal life. I don't care if she wants to. I doubt she'll do that because I know way too much about Tanisha too. But we're not doing that. Like, it's just like, bitch, I'm not fucking with you. Just stay the fuck over there.
I just saw that on Janelle's live that she's about to meet up with Seven. And for them to be the little duo of the season, Natalie pretends to be their friend. She calls them bum bitches. She says all kinds of crazy ass remarks. So I'm going to let you hear it for yourself. And I hope you guys enjoy the reunion tomorrow. And good luck. Best of luck to you guys. And just so you know, there's plenty more audio. So maybe I'll put it on my OnlyFans. I don't know when I'm going to drop it, depending on how everything goes. There will be more footage for you guys. So don't play with me.
That's why they're mad. That's why they're mad. Seven sits at home.
But if you pay attention, like I said earlier, Sarah is not putting her audio in it. She cut it up. But obviously that was a response right there. Because Natalie was like, see, that's why they're mad. That's why they're mad. And then she gets into this rant right here. So what was said right before this? That's what I want to know. Because as much as Sarah is trying to make Natalie, just like what happened with Sydney and Mehgan, Sarah is trying to make Natalie look bad, but this is kind of making Sarah look bad. You know what I'm saying?
Every day. Don't watch her story because it's boring. She sits at home. You don't ever see her go to the gym. She's rarely in the car unless she's going to the grocery store. She's with Six just downstairs at the pool in her apartment complex in Miami. She's back upstairs, sitting in her living room. Like, she doesn't do anything. These girls are a joke. Like, I'm going to let them all know. And then Janelle called me the other day, like maybe a week ago, about starting her wig line. And I said, Janelle, you told me you were starting a wig line 4 years ago. This is when I was pregnant with Journey. You told me you were starting a wig line. And then you just told me that some Nigerian guy you met in Houston gave you a whole bunch of money for the wig line, and you still didn't start it. You only need about $5,000 to order a bunch of wigs and get some cheap packaging and some thank you cards and start shipping them off. It's very simple. They're bums. And she took the money, and I think when off, like, I don't know, she just loves getting work done. I don't know, flying places, going to the mall and buying designer shit, whatever she could try to look cool in to post on Instagram. Like, they don't know how to flip the money. They don't know how to hustle.
I thought this was funny that Seven said this because that does sound like a good life. But see, the thing is, when you say why, y'all claim to be bad girls, why not say all that while they're in their face? But that's what I'm saying. It's like Natalie is trying to be. I mean, don't everyone likes to act like they're so much better than Natalie, but everyone has things they like and don't like about their friends. And you know what I'm saying? It's like in this business, I mean, not even friends, they're acquaintances, they're business partners, they're cast members. Like she has to do what she has to do to get the show up. You know what I'm saying? There are people on the show that she doesn't necessarily like, but she knows that it has to be these girls from. She only has so many to choose from. It has to be girls from Bad Girls Club. She's not liked by a lot of bad girls, but that doesn't matter because Natalie's trying to put together this Bad Girls Club reboot. So she's going to be nice to you. Of course, in a conversation where someone you don't like, you know, if you guys, nothing brings people together than a mutual person that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've seen that on a meme or a quote somewhere. Right, why cut out your part if you ain't got nothing to hide? Natalie mentioning, I mean, Seven did say that in one of her videos too. Like, she was like, "Don't be bringing up my child's name," blah blah blah. But it wasn't, and Seven was like, it wasn't really in a bad context, and I get that, but I didn't even know her kid's name. Did she put it out there like that? Because really, at this point, isn't it Sarah that she should be mad at for putting out her? I mean, if that's what the problem was, because I don't, you know, sometimes people don't like to release their kids' names for whatever reason. I don't know if it was something like that, but at this point, it's Sarah that's at. Sarah's now the reason why people know her child's name, not Natalie. That was also the second time that someone had said something about Janelle having a sugar daddy or whatever. So I don't know what to believe there, because normally Seven, I mean, normally Janelle is. I put her in that same category where I haven't really caught her in a lie either. So I kind of believe her, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily true. I'm saying like someone must have told Christina that, because Christina said something like that too, right? So it's like I think there's this whole other group chat going on where it's like the anti-Natalie group chat. Hold on, I'm looking up my liked videos, not my videos. So I thought this was funny. This is a little excerpt from I guess it's like behind the scenes of the reunion where Natalie and Judy are talking.
That's like saying racist things like certain people and saying I like black men. Ha ha. But Natalie is the same person that said nose too big. What happened? On your season. What? Portia. Her nose was too big. No, I didn't. Gorilla nose. Yes, no, you did. I never ever in my life said such a thing. There's nothing like that. I called someone a gorilla nose. No, Judy. It's on TV. Judy, it doesn't exist. I love you, Natalie. We have to stop. Hold on a second. No.
It's on TV.
Looks like a gorilla nose. I'm Puerto Rican, Brazilian, and dark-skinned girls never seem to like me.
Oops. All right, so I definitely also 100% put Judy in that category as well. She has never lied, and so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I also believe what Janelle or what Judy says. No, I forgot to mention that earlier. As far as the episode review. So Sydney says she's gonna serve Judy breakfast in bed. Do you guys think that's gonna happen, or do you think that production tells Judy and that's why she gets out the house? I don't think that they would do it, and that's why Judy leaves. But I don't know. Is that why Judy leaves? I don't know. I'm very curious to see, but that would be super fucked up. And Sydney, just do something original. That's already been done. You know, stop copying everyone. You're literally copying you. This isn't Bad Girls Club, all right? And it's not making you look good. I don't know. I'm just saying. You're the one that's obviously copying everyone, and you're accusing everyone of wanting to copy you. But I don't know. I'm still really interested to see what happens. I think there was one clip of Natalie saying there's only 3 episodes left. That's kind of hard to believe. Is there really only 2? I mean, I'm assuming this is one of the 3. Well, she said like 3, so maybe it's 4. But I hope there's not another break. I hope they go right from the last episode into the reunion. I think Judy is just over the whole experience. But even she said, well, I don't know if it was, I forget where I saw this, but someone was like, oh, I wish Judy could have been more herself, like showing us more of herself. And like Judy was like agreeing with it. So I think it was on her story or something like that. But I definitely agree. I wish that I hope that if they do a season 2 that Judy is on there. Because if Sydney is not going to be on season 2, then I think we'll see a better side of Judy. But as far as what Natalie was saying in those clips, I mean, it's not like she's really talking. She's saying it in a way that's just like conversational. You know what I'm saying? Based on, I guess, what Sarah was also saying in the conversation. But the bottom line is they wanted this show to be about a bunch of people doing their business activities, and that's not what this season was. And so I kind of get what she's talking about. You don't have to take it as talking shit. It's just taken out of context, so it sounds like she's just talking shit. But it's one of those things where, you know, when you're talking to your friends and they don't like someone that you do kind of like, but you also see that these people have flaws, like you're going to be talking about their flaws with this person. And so that's all I think it was. But, you know, everyone says Natalie is sneaky, but who's more sneaky? Because what else does Sarah have? I feel like Sarah's plan is to collect dirt on Natalie her whole career. And when she finally gets rid of Natalie, because I don't think this is the end of their friendship. I feel like they're going to make up. But at the same time, like if I were Natalie, I would never really, well, I don't know, unless this was all a plan, but I don't see it. Like, I don't think it's like that, but I really wouldn't. I could be friends. If I were Natalie, I could be friends with Sarah again, but I would never really trust her. But I think Sarah is super smart. Sarah's super smart. She knows the laws. Just let the reunion happen. Yeah, exactly. But Sarah, because I thought it was really funny, there was a clip of Natalie talking about, oh, well, you better lawyer up, blah, 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 because, you know, recording conversations is illegal, blah, blah, blah. And then Sarah had posted a story talking about, oh, well, there's a law that passed 3 years ago in Georgia where as long as you're one of the parties in the conversation, you are allowed to record. So it's like, I don't know, who has the better lawyers? You think Natalie's lawyer can like spin it to still be something bad? Are these girls really suing each other? That's what I really want to see. And if they really sue each other, then I don't think it was fake. And they're talking about suing each other, but I haven't seen that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. As always, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time there's a new episode. And I'm kind of sad that we are winding down. Like I said, I hope there's more than 2 more episodes. I hope the reunion is like, you know, a 2-parter, 3-parter maybe. But we'll see what happens. Oh shit, Grim Rippler. All right. Well, welcome. Well, first of all, I haven't talked to you in forever, Grim Rippler. It's always a pleasure to have you stop by, but I feel bad because I was just editing the show. But you can always tune in next week. I'll be back 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, everyone, make sure you call in next week. It looks like it's going to be a good episode. And hopefully I'll have some more reunion tea. Because as you saw, I don't think I mentioned this earlier. I did read it. But supposedly there are 4 fights in the reunion, confirmed by 7. I didn't even know this, so shout out to Luis for that. And hopefully I see some more YouTube videos and you can get my reaction next week. But that's all for today. I'm tuning out or signing off, whatever it's called. I will see you guys next week. All right. So have a good one. And don't forget to call in.